thank you everybody for coming out to support both high school speech and debate team and the History Museum in Hood River. Huge thank you to them for partnering with us to be able to get funds to send us to nationals. Okay, so this night is going to be a lot. There's a lot of different events that we do, and we're only highlighting a few of them. Some of them might get dark, but we have a lot of funny ones in there to bring spirits up. So first and foremost, I'd like to introduce one of our funniest people on the team, the person that has been given the award of Best Voices. And soon you'll be able to see why. His piece is titled The Big Nap. It is going to be a humorous interpretation, meaning that it's supposed to be funny and uplifting, and it should be about 10 minutes. So please welcome to stage, Isaac Serrano.
How's it going? All right. I was going to say something over here. Speech and debate. All right. When I first entered, I thought it was only for the strictest of nerds, right? The strictest of nerds. Only talked about nerd things. But in reality, there's a lot of funny stuff in there. When I thought of the speech part, I thought it was only, these serious things, talking about serious topics, like, what's a serious topic?
The economy!
Whatever they said. But in reality, there's a lot of theatrics in there. There's a lot of funny things. You can be goofy. So, I hope you enjoy me making a fool of myself. For all of you. So, let's get started.
It was a typical morning. My knees were scraped and bruised. My clothes were damp and soiled. I reached for the bottle I kept under my pillow and took a sloppy swig. I stared at my reflection in the mirror. I wasn't getting any younger, no. I was 2 years old. I wasn't sure of a lot of things. All I knew was I was tired of this down and dirty life, tired of trying to make some sense out of this world gone mad. The client was waiting for me. She'd come along the scene about a year ago, moving into a white bassinet down the hall. Some people called her sweetheart, others called her pumpkin, but most people knew her by her full name. Baby Zoe. Sure, she looked innocent enough, but her past was murky. Some say she came from the hospital, but there's also a rumor that she once lived inside Mommy's tummy. It just didn't add up. But still, a job is a job.
We were all babies once. Tiny, ignorant, and kind of gross. But despite everything, we were never not human. And just like the young detective in our story, we've all been misunderstood. This one shows that no matter the setbacks, the desirable outcome is always possible. This is, as you heard before, The Big Nap by Simon Rich.
Now what brings you here to see me?
It's Moo. She's missing.
Moo was missing all the time. It was just the kind of unicorn she was. Now why should I bust my trying to find some unicorn?
Because I can pay you up front.
Kind of scratched a big like Zoe come up with. She wasn't old enough to have pockets. Now what do you have that's worth me getting up for?
Stickers.
Are they the fun kind?
See for yourself.
Oh, they were fun, all right. I've never seen so many Batmans in all my life. Hey, where'd you get them?
I don't remember. Sometimes things are just my hand. I also don't remember how I got into this room or what we're talking about.
We're talking about how I'm going to find your Moo.
You mean it?
That's right, doll. I'm on the case. So, have you seen any suspicious characters around recently?
Not that I remember.
Well, think hard.
Well, now that you mention it, an old lady appeared out of nowhere yesterday and replaced my parents.
Interesting. Describe her.
Gray hair, glasses, smells like yogurt.
Large wooden jewelry.
Yeah.
Sounds like Nana.
No.
I've had run-ins with her before. Nana was elusive. If I was going to track her down, I needed good old-fashioned shoe leather. First, I tried the playroom. I was at it for more than 10 seconds when I finally got a break in the case. Nana came, picked me up, and started carrying me. Before long, she was taking a phone call.
How's your Airbnb? Are you both wearing sunscreen? Listen, I can't figure out the Bosch.
It was impossible to follow.
What does smart cycle mean? Hot or cold? Look, I'm gonna put you on speaker.
And that's when a familiar voice rumbled at Anna's phone.
Shh. We're driving to the beach right now. Just Google it, okay?
There's no doubt about it. That voice belonged to Mama. That can only mean one thing. This one went all the way to the top. I'm off the case.
What? But you said you'd help me.
If Mama's mixed up in this, I don't want anything to do with it.
What's wrong with Mama? I like Mama.
We all like Mama. She smells nice, is warm. But that doesn't change the fact that she runs this whole town.
What are you saying?
Look, you're just a kid, so I'll spell it out for you. Mama is the big boss around here. The doctor, the dentist, the gymboree instructor, they're all on the tank.
What does this even have to do with Moo?
Why do I risk my hide trying to help some dame I barely even know?
Because you're the only one who can.
I shuffled down halls, trying to figure out why I got caught up in this crazy case. There was something about that screwy kid. The world had done her dirty, yet somehow she still believed in justice. She still believed in hope. She even believed in me. No one ever had before. So, I decided to swing by the TV room. I got to work, opening drawers and taking things out and dropping them hard on the ground. I went through most of the cupboards when the door burst open. It was Nana.
How about a nap?
If she thought I was going down that easy, she had another thing coming.
How about some yummy medicine?
I ate the medicine. I liked eating things that were yummy, the sweet cherry capsule in my tongue, but it was quickly followed by the bitter taste of betrayal. It wasn't the first time I'd been dropped.
Where have you been? I looked everywhere for you. Inside a cup, inside a shoe.
Nana tried to kill me. She drugged me and left me to die inside my crib.
Well, how did you escape?
I said,
Nana, up!
Nana came and picked me up.
Why would she try to help you after trying to kill you?
Why do you think she's insane?
What do we do now?
We run away together, somewhere far, far away.
Look,
Nana burst open through the door, carrying a clear plastic bag.
oh look, it's Moo. Where's she taking her?
The garage.
Well, you can't go down there, you'll disappear.
I won't disappear. Objects are permanent. Even when you can't see them, they're still there.
Oh God, I can't lose you too.
You won't. I promise. I climbed down the stairs as silently as possible. I noticed that Nana was not alone. Mama and Dada had returned, and that's when I saw it. Something that made my blood run cold. It was Moo Moo. Only there was one problem. She had been murdered. Her horn had been severed. Her hooves had been ripped clean out of her body. Nana had taken her life. And Mama has come back to run the cover-up. I watched with disgust as Dada obediently tossed Moo's corpse into the trash. I watched as Mama produced a new unicorn out of a plastic case. Zoe, you have to listen to me. That isn't the real Moo Moo. The real Moo Moo's dead.
But Mama said it was Moo. She used the word Moo and pointed at it.
We can't trust Mama. We can't trust any of them.
Easy, sweetie, remember we play gentle.
I didn't have much time. Quick, before they nab me, I need to hear you say that you believe me. I need to hear you say that that isn't the real Moo Moo.
But Mama said it was.
I suppose I've been a fool. I'll just take my Batmans and go.
Uh-oh, looks like someone got in the Hanukkah drawer.
I watched with silent rage as Nana snatched the stickers from my hand. The grown-ups, they laughed at me. And something snapped. Before I could stop myself, I lunged at them, arms flailing, legs kicking. I punched and spat as the grubs tried to restrain me. But this time, I wasn't going down without a fight.
How about some yummy medicine?
I woke hours later. Staring down at me was baby Zoe.
I brought this for you.
I couldn't make it out in the dark, but I could feel soft cape, groovy hooves. Oh, don't be crazy, kid. This moon's all you got.
Well, I want us to be square. And besides, it's not like it's the real Moo.
But what are you saying?
I'm saying I believe you. Anyways, goodbye.
Wait, hey, hold on. This case isn't closed. There's still a lot that remains unsolved.
Like what?
We don't know why Mama and Dad went away this weekend, or why they take showers and not baths. We don't even know if Mama and Dad are their real names.
That's a lot to crack.
Well, I was thinking, maybe we could cut a deal.
Like what?
Partners, you and me.
Well, I don't have any experience. You'd have to train me.
We can start right now. I handed her a crayon to take notes with.
Is this food?
Kind of. Don't worry, kiddo. We'll figure it all out. Together. Oh, that's what I have.
The title of this piece is A Beautiful, Terrible Thing. And for this, we'd like to invite Ginny Smith. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, Ginny.
Don't cry, baby. Please, don't cry. I'm gonna miss you guys. I don't know why I'm crying. It must be hormones. It's only 10 days. Luis and I were leaving for Maine to be with my parents since Marco's boss was on vacation for the next 2 weeks. He would be working double duty, and I was worried he wouldn't be able to help at all at home. I love you. I love you so. A memoir that tells a story of marriage and betrayal. Her husband, Marco, was it for her. He was perfect. He fit into her family, made her feel good, and most of all was her best friend. Except perfection isn't real. And the worst betrayals don't come with a warning. So I present A Beautiful, Terrible Thing by Jen Lee. I couldn't explain at that moment that sometimes out of nowhere my love for him filled me up and overflowed my body. It had nothing to do with hormones. Sometimes I would have dreamed that I had lost him awake with a start, really flooding my body as I felt him beside me, and I memorized the freckle under his eye. The reason I started saying I love you so to him all those years ago was because I couldn't fit all that love into the word much. This is the first time in 3 weeks since Louisa was born I've opened a computer. I look at the email. I move the mouse to the subject line. Appointment, it reads. Marco has forwarded the email to someone. A woman. I managed to bring up Facebook, and with my free hand, I typed the foreign letters of the name into the search bar. VIKTORIJA. I tap the last letter and a profile pops up. One mutual friend. My husband. May I speak to Marco, please? Just one moment, the hostess says. While I wait, I look back at the email. My girlfriend and I have decided to go with another apartment, but thank you for your time, it says. Girlfriend? Why is my husband calling me his girlfriend, and what apartment? I study the profile picture. A blonde woman in a fur coat stares back at me. Victoria Novak. This is Marco. You're having an affair? Babe, what are you talking about? I found an email between you and an apartment broker, and you say my girlfriend. What the hell is going on, Marco? He laughs. A goofy, genuine, incredulous laugh, and it is the sweetest thing I have ever heard because I know that this is exactly what I thought. A misunderstanding. Now he'll explain and everything will be okay. Baby, first of all, trust me when I say I am not having an affair. I would never, ever cheat on you. You are my life. Baby, I want you to hear that. You are my life. Okay? Okay. When Marco walks in the door, I'm waiting on the couch. Luisa is mercifully asleep in the bedroom, and I pray she gives us a few minutes of quiet so we can figure this out and make it go away. I expect Marco to start talking, apologizing right away that he's quiet. Marco, wait. I need to talk to you about something. For around a year now, I haven't been happy. I lost all of my feelings. I think there was something physically wrong with me, or I don't know. Like right now, I'm looking at you and I feel nothing. I feel numb. What is happening? I can't wrap my head around the words that are coming out of my husband's mouth, and in the back of my mind, I can still see that email. Jen, I have no feelings. What? What are you talking about? Marco, please. I'm pleading now, but I don't know what I'm pleading for or why, and I feel like I'm trapped in a bad acid trip and nothing makes sense. He's sitting across to me. That is his body, but he is not my husband. You're telling me you haven't noticed anything over the past year? What are you unhappy about? I don't understand. Baby, we barely see each other anymore. I'm always working. We never do fun couple things. You used to really put effort into your appearance, you know. I would look at you before and think, God damn. But I just had a baby. Ugh, I know. That's not what I meant. I just mean maybe what everyone says is true. That getting married ruins relationships. I don't understand. What do you mean getting married ruins relationships? We're happy. We're so happy. I am happily married. I'm happily married and in love. I'm so in love, and I just had a baby with my husband. By now, it's almost 2 a.m. I need to get some sleep. Don't worry, we'll figure this out. I am so exhausted, and Luisa will be awake soon. But I will never be able to sleep again because my husband has just told me he looks at me and feels nothing. Thank you.
The piece is titled Hyperbole and a Half. So I welcome you to the stage, Ava Moore.
Hello. As you just learned, I didn't think I was doing this today. Also, just so you guys know, I haven't done this in a year. So, some of it I will be making up and you will have to deal with it. Additionally, front row, there is some intense staring, so I'm sorry in advance, but yeah. Alright, let's see if I got this still. Long car ride. It is Hyperbole and a Half by Ellie Brosh. I'm not doing an intro in the middle because I don't care. When I was 10 years old, I wrote a letter to my future self and buried it in the backyard. 17 years later, I remembered that I was supposed to remember to dig it up 2 years earlier. I look forward to getting a nostalgic look into my childhood. Unfortunately, the letter begins thusly. Dear 25-year-old. Note, not dear 25-year-old me or dear 25-year-old self, just dear 25-year-old. Do you like dogs? What is your favorite dog? Do you have a job training dogs? What is your favorite food? Are mom and dad still alive? Now, I feel it's important to note the order of these questions. Obviously, dog-related subjects were my chief concern. Additionally, I asked, is Murphy still alive? My family's dog. And then I asked about my future favorite food. But only then did I pause to wonder whether my parents had survived. Then, at the bottom of the page, I jarringly wrote with my stubby little crayon, please write back. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with how time travel works. I don't think 10-year-old me was. That's not how it works. So, allow me to write a letter to all of my past selves, because they were incredibly stupid. Stupid enough to write a letter and ask, please write back. Dear 2-year-old, please stop eating face cream. It will never be frosting. No matter how much it looks like frosting, no matter how many times you try to eat it, it's always going to be face cream. It's never going to be frosting. For the love of fuck. Please stop. I need those organs you're ruining. Dear 4-year-old, I don't know why I have to say this. I don't know why this started. No matter how much pepper you eat after eating salt, it doesn't cancel out. You can eat an entire bottle of salt, and doing that with pepper is not going to cancel out. Now you just have a burning sensation in your mouth from the salt. Well, from the pepper after the salt. Now, if you try to have the salt to cancel out the pepper from the burning of the original salt, it now tastes like salt again. Maybe you electrocuted yourself too many times with the electric fence last summer, but you really need to start learning from your mistakes. This is atrocious. You should know. You've eaten too many non-food objects. Dear 7-year-old, take a look around you. Do you notice how the other children are wearing clothes? That's because they're 7 years old and they've all realized it's no longer appropriate to take their clothes off in public. You haven't realized that yet, have you? People have tried to tell you, your parents have tried, your teachers have tried, even the other students have expressed discomfort with your persistent and inexplicable nakedness. But you just don't stop. Why do you want to be naked so badly? Do you even know why? Are you overtaken by forces beyond your control that make you do this? Furthermore, you cannot take your clothes off and hide in a corner and hope no one notices. You cannot take your clothes off and bury yourself in a sandbox. Your clothes aren't filed next to you, but they know. Dear 10-year-old, wow, you really like dogs. In fact, you like dogs so much, I'm not even sure it's emotionally healthy. It might be normal to like dogs a lot, or be really interested in dogs, but you go way, way past that. For example, you're 10. It makes people question your developmental progress when you growl and bark at them. An even more interesting issue is the obstacle course. Sure, you want to train your dog to run around the obstacle course, that's fine. You can't make your mom time you as you go around the obstacle course on all fours, over and over and over again. Well, I suppose this is about the time where I answer your questions, unfortunately. So, number 1, do I like dogs? Yes, I have 2. Do I have a job training dogs? No. I can't even train my own dogs. So that's not going to work out for you. Number 3, do I have a favorite dog? No. I don't know why you thought that was an important question in life. No one's ever asked me that. No. Number 4, is Murphy still alive? And you thought dogs lived to be 25 years old? You really set yourself up for a lot of disappointment there. Wow. What is my favorite food? Nachos, which is fortunate, because in the future, you are dysfunctional and you don't take care of yourself, So you end up eating a whole lot of nachos. Number 5. Are mom and dad still alive? Unfortunately, you turned out to be Batman, so we had to put them down for storyline purposes. Dear 13-year-old self, finally, you got out of your weird issue with dogs. Unfortunately, now you think you are a wizard. I know that, because I found your collection of spells. Why do you think eating dust and Dijon mustard is going to make somebody fall in love with you? I could be wrong, but I think doing that might make them love you less. I think they might walk away from you. So now I'm going to walk away from all of you. That was the speech. I hope you have a good day.
For this, we have a step-by-step guide of how to be a woman, performed by Skylar Nelson.
First of all, I'd like to apologize to all the men in this room because I am very, I'm going to call you out. So I'm sorry it's not all men, but there is a pattern. Friends and fellow citizens, I stand before you tonight under indictment for the alleged crime of having voted at the last presidential election without having a lawful right to vote. It shall be my work to prove to you tonight that in thus voting, I not only committed no crime, but simply exercised my citizen's right, guaranteed to me and all United States citizens underneath the national Constitution, beyond the power of any state to deny.
Why we post pockets for women? 1. Because pockets? Not a natural right. 2. Because the great majority of women do not want pockets. If they did, they'd have them.
In the United States, women working full-time still earn about 82 cents for every dollar paid to men. The voices you're about to hear span centuries, offering both wisdom and absurdity in the face of society's expectations. These women fought for rights and recognition for all. And while we've certainly come a long way, those same expectations are still shaping what we wear, how we speak, how we behave, and even how we're valued. While the progress we've made is undeniable, so are the remnants of a past that are very much still present today. So using Girl by Jamaica Kincaid, poems by Alistair Miller and Maya Angelou, the words of Susan B. Anthony, essays by contemporary activist Rebecca Solnit, and 19th century Emily Thornwell's The Lady's Guide to Perfect Gentility, I will give you a step-by-step guide of how to be a woman, a program. Because despite all the progress we've made, there is much still to come. This closes the records of the 19th century of work done by and for women. What the 20th century will show, no one can foresee, but there will be vastly more and better we cannot fail to believe. Because you and I have done the best we knew, and so must rest content, leaving all to younger hands. Your sincere friend and co-worker, Susan B. Anthony. Every woman whose heart and mind have been properly regulated is capable of exerting a most salutary influence over the gentlemen with whom she associates. And this fact has been acknowledged by the best and wisest of all men, and seldom has it ever been disputed. Men explain things to me, and other women, whether or not they know what they're talking about. But every woman knows what I'm talking about. It's the presumption that makes it hard for any woman in any field, that stops young women from speaking up, from being heard when they dare, that crushes these women into silence by indicating the way harassment on the street does, that this is not their world. It trains us in self-doubt and self-limitation just as it exercises men's unsupported overconfidence. So, this is how to bully a man. And this is how a man bullies you, and this is how to love a man. And if that doesn't work, there are other ways. And if those don't work, don't feel too bad about giving up. Because it was we, the people, not we, the white male citizens, nor yet we, the male citizens, but we, the whole people who formed this union. And we formed it not to give the blessings of liberty, but to secure them. Not to the half of ourselves and the half of our posterity, but to the whole people, women as well as men. And it is a downright mockery to talk to women of their enjoyment and the blessings of liberty when we are denied the only use of securing them, the ballot. This is how to make a good medicine for a cold. And this is how to make a good medicine for a child. So you can throw it away before it ever becomes a child, because violence is one way to silence people. To assert your right to control over her right to exist. About 3 women a day are murdered by spouses or ex-spouses in this country. It is one of the leading causes of death for pregnant women in the United States. At the heart of feminism is to give rape, date rape, domestic violence, and workplace sexual assault legal standing as crimes, has been the necessity of making women audible and credible. New York City and State were named after King Charles II's brother, the Duke of York, when the British took over the region from the Dutch. Give directions. Inside the city and state, named for a man, you can board the number 6 train at the northern end of Pelham Bay, named for a Mr. Pell, and a bureau named for a Swedish man, Jonas Brock. From there, you can ride the train down into Manhattan. There, the 6 travels down Lexington Avenue, parallel to Madison Avenue, named, of course, after President James Madison. Always seek to converse with gentlemen to whose society may be introduced, with a dignified modesty and simplicity which will effectively check on any part of theirs attempts at familiarity. You may with propriety accept such delicate attentions as polished and refined men are desirous of pain, but never solicit them or appear to be expecting them. This is how to hem a dress when you see the hem coming up, and so as to prevent yourself from looking like the slut. I know you are so bent on becoming. Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to fit a fashion model size, but when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say it's in the reach of my arms, it's in the span of my hips, it's in the stride of my step, it's in the curl of my lips, because I am a woman. Phenomenal woman. That's me. Names perpetuate the gendering of New York City and almost every city in the Western world. Cities are full of men's names, names that are markers of who wielded power, who made history, who held fortunes, who was remembered. Women are anonymous people who traded fathers' names for husbands as they married, who lived in private and were comparatively forgotten. This naming stretches across the continent. The peaks of many western mountains have names that make them sound more like an old board of directors, and very little has been named for particular historical women. The story of Cassandra, the woman who told the truth but was not believed, is not nearly as embedded in our culture as that of the boy who cried wolf. That is, the boy who was believed every time he told the same lie. Perhaps it should be.
Why we oppose pockets for women? 3. Because whenever women have had pockets, they haven't used them. 4. Because women are required to carry enough things as is without the additional burden of pockets.
Ladies' morning attire. The most appropriate morning dress for a lady upon first rising is a small muslin cap and loose robe. It is not in good taste for a lady to appear in the morning without being laced at all. It gives an air of untidiness to the whole appearance. This is a magnificent sight before me, and these have been wonderful addresses and speeches I have listened to during the past week. Yet I have looked on so many such audiences, and in my lifetime I have wizened to so many such speakers, all testifying to the righteousness, the justice, and the worthiness of the cause of women suffrage. Billions of women must be out there in the 7 billion person planet being told they are not reliable witnesses to their own lives, that the truth is not their property, now or ever. So I've been thinking of Cassandra as we sail through the choppy waters of these gender wars, because credibility is such a foundational power in these wars, and because women are so often accused of being categorically lacking. This is how you smile to someone you don't like too much. This is how you smile to someone you don't like at all. This is how you smile at someone you like completely. A horde of dead men with live identities haunt New York City and almost every city in the Western world. So this is how to behave in the presence of men you don't know very well. And this way, they won't recognize immediately the slut. I have warned you against becoming phenomenal woman. That's me.
Why we put pockets for women? 5. Because it would make dissension between husband and wife as to whose pockets were not filled. 6. Because it would destroy man's chivalry towards women if he didn't have to carry those things in his pockets. Why we put pockets for women? 7. Because I'm not done. Because men are men and women are women. We must not fly in the face of nature. 8. Because pockets have been used by men to carry tobacco, whiskey flasks, pipes, chewing gum, and compromising letters. We see no reason to suppose that women would use them more wisely.
Always squeeze the bread to make sure it's fresh. But what if the baker won't let me near the bread? Do you mean to tell me that after all of this, you're really going to be the kind of woman the baker won't let near the bread?
Next, we have another prose, but unlike the last one, this is taken from a childhood memory. We all loved different books as a child, and this one is from one of my previous favorites, Mr. Popper's Penguins. And for this, I invite Kate Shays up to the stage.
Okay. Like she said, not all proses are sad, so I chose one of my favorite childhood books. Hopefully some of you will know it, Mr. Popper's Penguins. And without further ado, no one knew what went on inside of Mr. Popper's head, and no one guessed that one day he would be the most famous person in Stillwater. He was a dreamer. He was so absent-minded that he was always dreaming about far-away countries. He had never been out of Stillwater. It would have been nice, he had often thought, if he could have seen something of the world. If he could have hunted tigers in India, climbed the peaks of the Himalayas, or dived for pearls in the South Sea. Above all, he had never seen the poles. He had never seen those great shining white expanses of ice and snow. Since he could not go, he was always dreaming of them. Mr. Popper the painter possessed a peculiar polar passion. Penguins. After writing to an Arctic explorer, Popper receives a penguin as a pet, but when his precious penguin prodigy, Captain Cook, fell ill, Popper was in a predicament. He had to think fast, quickly procuring a paddle-footed penguin pal for Captain Cook. When the penguins started to multiply, though, Popper was in trouble. He decided to train the penguins, creating a performing penguin pod to travel America. The penguins were the preening pets sweep the nation, booking out stages and making the Poppers very rich. After one season of shows, however, Popper is faced with a predicament. Do what is good for the penguins, or his pockets. We face such decisions every single day in our lives, whether you realize it or not. Do what is good for the animals or business. Do what is easy or what is right. Now, this silly children's book tackles hard decisions, selflessness, and letting go. With that, I give to you Mr. Popper's Penguins by Richard and Florence Atwater. The manager stepped out onto stage. Ladies and gentlemen, with your kind indulgence, we are going to let you see a little novelty number tonight. Owing to unforeseen circumstances, the marvelous Marcos are unable to appear. We are going to let you see a rehearsal of the Popper performing Penguins. I thank you. In a dignified way, Popper and the Penguins walked out onto stage, and Mrs. Popper sat down at the piano. She began Schubert's Military March, and the Penguins began to drill and wheel very nicely with great precision. Mrs. Popper then began the Merry Little Waltz, and 10 of the penguins now formed a semicircle, as Nelson and Columbus in their midst put on a wild sparring contest. Gork, said Nelson, punching Columbus in the stomach. Gah, said Columbus as he tried to punch him in the back. Nelson hit him in the eye, whereupon Columbus retreated with a loud, "Ork!" Which bird won? Who's ahead? Shouted the audience. Look, said all 10 penguins in the semicircle. This must have meant look, for Nelson turned to look at them. And Columbus immediately punched him in the stomach. Nelson lay there with his eyes closed. Columbus now counted 10 over the prostrate Nelson. Nelson now rose to his feet, and all the penguins formed a row and bowed. In no time, a pair of ladders and a board were brought in. Then Mrs. Popper began playing By the Brook. At this point in the act, the penguins always forgot their discipline. They got dreadfully excited. With a great deal of squawking, the penguins fought and climbed the ladders and ran across the board in complete confusion, then hurried to the bogging down at the other end. The manager and the audience were all holding their sides, laughing. The manager then gave the signal for the curtain to go down, and the audience stood up and cheered. Mr. Greenbaum was the first to congratulate the Poppers. I don't mind telling you, Mr. Popper, that I think you've got something absolutely unique in those birds. Your penguins will soon be packing the biggest theaters from Oregon to Maine. Just sign these papers. From the start, the penguins were a riotous success. Even their opening performance in Seattle went off without a hitch. From the Pacific coast, they turned east again, crossing the continent. Already, Mr. Greenbaum was writing about a new contract. Mr. Popper was beginning to think, however, that he better be getting back to Stillwater, for the penguins were growing irritable. Mr. Popper, there's a friend of yours here. Mr. Popper stepped out into the light. You're barely in time, Mr. Greenbaum, he was about to say. Then his eyes became accustomed to the light. He looked again. It was not Mr. Popper who stood there, or Mr. Greenbaum who stood there. It was a great bearded man in a splendid uniform. Smiling, he held out his hand. Mr. Popper, he said, I am Admiral Drake. Admiral Drake, not back from the South Pole? Yes, said the Admiral. The Drake Antarctic Expedition ship returned yesterday. When they were all settled in the Poppers' rooms at the hotel, the penguins clustered around them to listen. Mr. Popper told how the clever little band had saved the day for the Poppers when things looked bad. It's amazing, said Admiral Drake. I've seen a lot of penguins in my time, but never such educated ones as these. For a long time, the United States government has been wanting me to establish an expedition for the purpose of establishing a breed of penguins. You've had such remarkable success with these birds of yours. Why not give them to me to start a new race of penguins in the North Pole? Just then, Mr. Greenbaum and another gentleman were announced. Well, Popper, said Mr. Greenbaum, I want to put those birds in the movies. We've got a story department working on stories for them already. Well, why, we'll put each of those birds under contract that'll keep you and the missus on easy street for the rest of your lives. Mr. Popper was silent for a moment. Gentlemen, I thank you both. I will give you my decision tomorrow. It was a hard decision to make. Long after the visitors had left, Mr. and Mrs. Popper sat down and discussed what was best for everybody. Mr. Greenbaum, he said, I want you to know how much I appreciate your offer, but I'm afraid I have to refuse. I do not believe a life in Hollywood would be good for the penguins. He then turned to Admiral Drake. Admiral Drake, I'm going to give you the birds. I am considering the birds first of all. With the excitement and the warm weather, I do not believe, I've been worried about them. The birds have done so much for me that I have to do what is best for them. The day came when Mr. Poppers went down to say goodbye. The Admiral shook hands and thanked them for having trained the extraordinary birds. Mr. Popper went below to say a private farewell to the birds. All that kept him from breaking down completely was the knowledge that he was doing what was best for them, First, he said goodbye to the younger penguins, then to Greta, who had saved Captain Cook, and finally, he said last goodbye to Captain Cook, who had made life so very different for Mr. Popper. Thank you.
He's titled The Political Divide, to make light of what it means to be in this country.
Hello. Near the end of my speech, I'm going to ask you all to raise something. And when I say that, please follow along and do it with me. All right. I am an ostrich. Or at least I was. Since I was little, this big thing called politics has been making me pound my head in the sand. I grew up in a divorced household, and my dad and stepmom, the people responsible for raising me, were raising the volume on Fox News. They told me that Trump was the savior of this godforsaken country, and that Hillary was the death of it. Fox News drummed on and on. It was on before I woke up, when I came home from school, when I went to bed. It was making me crazy. Thus, my hate for politics was born. We all know that politics are important. Or at least we should give a gruff nod and go, oh yeah, midterm elections when it's mentioned. Or perhaps you're a nerd and you're into that stuff. To me, it's all tea-spilling, table-turning trauma dump sessions of our elected higher-ups like they're on The Bachelor. And America is getting cheated on. The most popular TV shows are toxic dramas. I mean, have you seen the news recently? According to NBC News, 80% of partisans believe that the other party poses a threat that will destroy America. The point of politics is to have a civil discussion between differing ideas, reaching a communal goal of what's best for our nation. As a society, we have lost sight of that, replacing it with pointless drama. Proudly barricading ourselves from outside perspectives causes blind extremism. However, we hold the power to challenge that cycle through open minds and open ears. When the presidential debates started in my 3rd grade year, my teacher asked the class to write a paragraph on who we would vote for and why. Naturally, I wrote that I would vote for Trump because I'd only ever heard that he was awesome. So I was shocked when the majority of the class voted for Hillary. Looking back, I realized 3 things. 1, my teacher was expecting too much from 8-year-olds. 2, clearly Fox News was not the gospel. And later, 3, the world exists outside of my house? Differing opinions are a good thing, of course, but I had been inundated by one single perspective since forever. Studies show that roughly 8 out of 10 teens that grow up in a Republican household and 9 out of 10 teens that grow up in a Democratic household identify the same way as their parents. Our current political culture encourages us to dismiss alternate perspectives, boisterously barricading the trembling tower of what we've been taught. Thankfully, for my current questionable sanity, I instead ignored the scary suited men on TV and stayed the path of being ignorant, but innocent. You know how they tell you not to play in, on, or around recycling bins? At the age of 12, my friends and I were playing in, on, and around a recycling bin. One of them settled up to me on his high horse and sneered at me. "Are you a Democrat or a Republican?" I responded, 12. He said, "Oh, so Democrat." This is a prime example of how parental bias perpetuates the cycle of extremism. Reminder, we were 12. In my opinion, neither one of us should have had political affiliations. And truthfully, in retrospect, we didn't. Everything we knew came from what was spoon-fed to us as children by our parents. And if that goes unchecked, our next president might just be your favorite brain rot YouTuber, Mr. Beast. Now, instead of last to take your hands off the $1 million wins, we have last to take your hands off the uranium wins. Civil discourse is important, but the key word is civil. Now, instead of launching words, we're launching bombs. I don't know about you, but I prefer it when Mr. Beast launches a new challenge video about $1 million. That way we at least have some hope of paying for a gallon of gas. Social media sells the loudest clickbait headlines to keep us addicted to anger like a drug, rather than promoting real, unbiased news, and therefore clarity. I'm left either doom scrolling the black hole of politics or keeping my head buried in the sand. But by falling into that trap, we stop listening to real people speaking for themselves. And isn't that what America prides itself on? Freedom of speech? As Noam Chomsky once said, if we don't believe in freedom of expression for those we despise, we don't believe in it at all. So enough of the doom and gloom. While closed-minded extremism creates an apocalyptic pickle, fear not. There is a way forward. Talk to people. Walk the line of unbiasedly understanding an argument and stating your own. Only through bridging the gap of the political divide can we become stronger. Only by working together can we achieve something we can all agree on, the betterment of the nation for we, the people. Even if that means participating in politics. So, join me as we all raise our heads out of the sand. Because change only happens if we choose to change ourselves. Thank you.
Tate Chase with his piece titled Our Intergalactic Neighbors. One important distinction is that normally he would not be viewed by his audience. In this case, he is going to be, because there's no way we're asking all of you to turn around. With that, we're going to let him come to the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your program. A huge flaming object believed to be a meteorite fell on a farm in New Jersey. Commentator Phillips. I've never seen anything like it. The color is a sort of yellowish white. Wait, someone's crawling out. Someone or something. Good heavens, tentacles! There, the thing's face. It's indescribable. Welcome, this is Tate Chase with HRVB 74.5, and that was an excerpt from the radio drama, The War of the Worlds, performed by Orson Welles. After it hit the airwaves in Halloween of 1938, America fell into chaos. Reports of mass stampedes, suicides, and death threats flooded in the following day. Listeners were fully convinced of an alien invasion. Recently, President Trump has ordered the declassification of alien files, landing aliens in the news once again. Today, we will first beam in an exclusive interview with an anonymous abductee, then dissect President Trump's order to declassify U.S. extraterrestrial files, and finally, probe the question of why this is so important. Grab your tinfoil caps, and let's get into it. Hello, you claim that you were abducted by aliens? Yes, I'm certain. I remember seeing a bright flash outside my room, and I went out to investigate. I was blinded by something in the sky, and that is when I felt it. A sensation of weightlessness. Next thing I know, I'm on a cold table, being poked and prodded. There were these weird voices in my head. It went black from there. I woke up in my bed. I swear it happened. Thank you. That must have been quite the experience. The current presidential discussion is a big deal for ufologists like our guest. In February 2026, former US President Barack Obama made headlines after claiming that aliens are real. Anxious to jump on this media train, current President Trump posted on Truth Social that he will be releasing government files related to extraterrestrial life and UFOs. No files have been released yet. After this, Obama then continues, clarifying that he hasn't seen aliens and that they're not being kept at Area 51. Although seemingly harmless, declassification could have immense impacts. If evidence of aliens is released, it could cause mass panic, similar to that seen in response to the War of the Worlds. If concrete evidence proving non-existence is released, it could be arguably worse. To many, aliens are real. All community would be left devastated. By removing speculation, the government would stamp out imagination. Speculation on both sides is what breeds creativity, curiosity, and community. Aliens are not merely intergalactic, they land close to home. Oregon is a hotspot for UFO sightings. 3/5 of 2024's most notable UFO sightings were here in Oregon. McMinnville's 26th annual UFO Festival will kick off this May. The event commemorates photos taken in 1950, still considered some of the most concrete proof of aliens. Aliens have a grip on modern media, fueling innovation and inspiring the technologies that surround us. According to the Smithsonian Institute, the first liquid-fueled rocket was built by Robert H. Goddard and greatly inspired by the Martian space travel depicted in H.G. Wells' novel, The War of the Worlds. And Martin Cooper credited Star Trek as inspiration when developing the first liquid-fueled, or the first mobile phone. Rather than fantasy, it was his objective. War of the Worlds is a classic. It triggers our imaginations. Trump's declassification threatens that inspiration and the innovation that happens because of it. Hopefully the files do not reveal enough to say whether aliens do or do not exist. We can keep on believing and continue to shoot for the stars. Thank you for tuning in, and to the next Artemis shuttle, Artemis 3. Wave to our intergalactic neighbors when you see them, because I will keep on believing. Thank you.
I'll leave it to Isaac Serrano and Skylar Nelson to show you, with their piece titled Max and Cindy.
December 21st. Today, I learned to spell my name. M-A-J-S Max. It's almost Christmas, and Santa's bringing me the red Power Ranger action figure to lockstep. I've been good this year. Mama said if I do it since I get Team Ranger too, but I'm walking Ranger's girls. Heart and candy.
Dear, Valley, Wednesdays. I want a pony. They're so pretty. Toads are not pretty, but I kissed one today. I was looking for my Prince Charming, but Mommy thinks I'm gonna get mono. Junior says mono means singular. Very princess. Am I gonna be alone forever? This story has it all.
Attractive woman.
Open.
And why is this place without bowels?
Well, Holy May painted that image of what true love is meant to be. It ain't all that realistic.
Sometimes you gotta get your hand just dirty.
Or get a complete personality readjustment.
Enjoy the satire of this absolutely relatable love story.
This is Max and Cindy by Jay Sweetie.
September 12th. Today, I start first grade. And I met a girl named Cindy. I hate her. She's a baby. She invited me over to have a tea party. There's still this stuff there. It's like punched her in the face. I'm like, oh, Mrs. Peterson gave me a timeout.
Dear Diary, Max the butthead, which is fun to me. He is in his sissy, but I can tell you why, so he get in trouble. Tea party's gonna be so much fun. Mommy's making her homemade brownies. I love them because they taste like pork chips. My part, Mr. Bunny and Dominic just were supposed to get married. But Mommy doesn't think their marriage will last. She's a divorce lawyer.
That's late 13th. The 8th grade is almost over, and I'm looking forward to a rigorous academic course load in high school. I'm developing girls. Oh boy! Think of something sad before this excitement gives me an asthma attack. Dead copies. Dead children. Socialism. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm a British one though. The city's mob is guiding my parents through the divorce.
Dear daughter, I invited Max to my birthday party. I'm getting cute if he didn't wear glasses. For my birthday, I wanted hoops. I did a backyard Britney Spears party. But they were all sold out, and all that was left was Britney Spears party. She doesn't have any hair. I did your nail.
It was February something. I don't really know what today is. I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday. And there's this really hot chick in my math class. Rebecca Cindy. Well, the hot chick sits right next to her. Today, I'm in dinner. And she waited about
Guys, it was more a blink.
Either way, it was complete chemistry. One max is one hot chick equals too much hotness for one formula.
In chemistry, we call this a synthesis equation. Or you can call it math if you want, but
that just kind of
Dear diary, Max College just turned 16, and oh, my parents' conflicting religions. He's a hot chick. Two teams. Ever since the time he came down for the football team, and it's an asthma condition, literally not out of him. He transformed from a geek into a god. He's a link to me today in math class. Diary, I think we're meant to be together forever.
February something. I don't know. Today, ask that hot chick out.
Dear diary, in my life, I'm fat and ugly and my nose is too big and my eyes too loose, my ears and my hair is too blonde and my lips are too Angelina and wash. Doesn't Max like me? Me! I don't even know the word for it. This girl. And I hate her. I wish she'd go a fake tub on her face or die of carpal tunnel. But hey, here's a thought.
March 1st, this writer says that hot chick from math class mysteriously disappeared on her class admission. For the story to notice Cindy. I realized though she's always been there for me. The time my parents got divorced, the time I got peanut butter stuck in my nose, and says she's been loyal, honest. I enjoy sharing my true feelings with her. I decided to date her. Nah, I'm just joshing up. I only did her because she's hot.
Oh dear, done. Mr. and Mrs. Max Collins.
It was 20. Promise I was here. And I can't promise her any. But Cindy keeps on dropping these southern hints that she wants to go, like,
Hey Max, I want to go to prom.
If there's a football game on ESPN that night, and even though I've already seen it, I need to see it again because I forgot from why. I like to decide what's more important in life. Cindy or football? That's great. If only Cindy was a football, then probably so let's all be upset. Why the problem was let me kick her across the field. She's sensitive like that.
Dear diary, I told Mom I get a funny feeling in my stomach when I think about Max. Mom thinks I'm pregnant, but I think I'm in love. Love is a fickle four-letter word. Just sounded cool. What else is a four-letter word? Prom, boys, wrist, baby, lifetime movie. No, wait, that's 13. I don't know what Max is thinking right now.
Make that. What am I thinking right now? It's like I'm thinking about pouring the white thing of lice, like a washer that washes and dries. Weird. I told Mom that I get a funny feeling in my stomach when I think about Cindy. Mom thinks I'm long, but I think it's these Mom told me brownies that I had for lunch the other day. It tasted like ham and a chip at the same time. I was like, about ham and shit.
Dear Diary, yesterday was prom, but I didn't go because Max never understood me. Diary, I don't think we're meant to be together forever.
Make that. Cindy didn't come to math class this week. Oh, during the test, I'm supposed to be skipping. But for some subconscious reason, I think she's mad at me. And then that makes my stomach feel real funny, but I'm not laughing because I know it's not the ham chips. Like, sort of, a little bit, somewhat. Whoa! Cindy, maybe. I guess I should tell her, but not in person. Online, instant messenger, in Cambodian, backwards.
Dear Diary, it happened. It finally happened. Max said those 3 small words I'd waited my whole life to hear.
Whoa! Glass! No!
But yet, he proposed to me. There's no engagement ring because Max's big job only pays $6 an hour, and he knows I won't accept anything less than 24 karat. Instead, he got me a license plate. Meant to be was taken, and
I love Cindy because she's hot.
she was too long. So we settled for Max and Cindy. Except he had to take all the vowels out, so you can't really tell what it means.
June 13, tomorrow is me and Cindy's 75th anniversary. That's a really long time. We had children, well, child. You never would have guessed it. Mindy is what happens when Max and Cindy get together in more ways than one.
$75 is a big number. Really get 74 and 76 jumps. Because it's a whole 3 quarters. Back in the day, you could buy a candy bar for 3 quarters. Nowadays, they cost $2.67. I stand by. I happily watch the prices of my Max. Secretly wishing I had tape. I really love it. My 24-karat wedding ring. Despite the fact that it took 50 years for Max's big job to pay for it. But I always loved my husband. Max, my very own Prince Charming. Thank you.
I really appreciate all you guys coming out to support our team going to nationals tonight. So it's been wonderful to show all of the wonderful array of skills that we've worked on throughout high school. So thank you. Thank you. Great job, everyone. This was a fabulous evening. Thank you so much for coming. We encourage you to support this team and their trip to nationals. We also hope we will see you next Thursday evening, the 21st, so you can hear more from Archer Mayo regarding the Martin family. Thanks again. Have a safe trip home, and well done, team. You guys were great.